Hi, I'm Sherry Strong and welcome to ReturnToFood.tv. This is a place to go to find out the truth about food, how to get great healthy food into your body and make it taste fabulous. Today I'm making one of my conversion recipes. This is called a glory dressing, and I call it a glory dressing because seriously, it is glorious. It is so delicious and it converts so many people who are kind of lackluster about eating salads into super excited about their salads and enjoying them. And I can't tell you how many classes I've done where I've taught this recipe and people have actually emailed me back and said, I'm eating so many more salads because of this dressing. And the other cool thing about this dressing is that it's simply 3 ingredients. Now, when you're using things that are really simple and you have only 3 ingredients in it, one thing you want to make sure is that you're getting very good quality ingredients when you're doing it. So simply what I have here is some apple cider vinegar. So a natural brand version, very good. You can tell it has a little bit of sediment and a bit of the mother must in the bottle at the bottom of it. That's a good sign. An organic Shiro miso. So this is a natural miso. It's a raw miso, so it hasn't been cooked, so there's still some living cultures in there. And it's one of the lighter misos. And what I find is I like the lighter misos. They tend to be a little bit more gentle in flavor, and this really helps with this dressing. And the other ingredient is a Fold Expeller Express extra virgin organic olive oil. And that's really important because you still want some of those antioxidants and phytochemicals that are in the oils when they're cold pressed. You're not going to get them when they're highly refined. When it says pure olive oil on the label, that is a highly refined oil. Refined oils are great for your car, not so good for your body. A cold pressed oil, you want something that actually is just a little bit cloudy. You want to actually smell that there's a true almost green. It smells like chlorophyll, you know, this greenness to it, almost grassy to it with your olive oils. You definitely, once you get them, the best policy to get them after opening them is not to keep them longer than 3 months. So buy in the quantities that you're actually going to use within 3 months. If you're getting an olive oil in a big tin, you know, 4-liter tin, and it's like $25 or $30, this is not a good quality oil. They can't actually sell an organic cold pressed olive oil for that price. Literally, it's just, either they're lying to you or it's a registered charity. So this is the basic ingredients for the recipe. I've got my cold pressed olive oil. I'm putting in there. My miso paste. And the ingredients are on the recipe that's provided with this. So I roughly am using about equal ratios of each. Now you can actually put it in the Vitamix blender, but if you don't have a blender, you can actually do this by hand. The advantage of actually using a blender to do this is that you're going to get this creamy kind of mayonnaise-like texture, and it literally just takes about a minute in the blender. This is a Vitamix blender. It's a high-powered blender. Highly recommend these, particularly when we get into the smoothie, making the smoothies. And some other interesting things we're going to have on ReturnToFood.tv. This is super simple, and as I said, you don't actually need a high-powered blender for this. It's just a bit convenient. Now, I'm just going to start it out. Get it going. And that's all you need. Okay. So the other good thing to have with a Vitamix blender is one of these little spatulas. You can see, different to other blenders, it's actually got quite a narrow top, but it's still firm so that when it's actually down, getting in between the blades down there, that you're actually going to be able to get things out. A lot of times what will happen with these blenders is, because they're long, narrow, and skinny, is you'll either get your spatula in there and it will eat away your spatula, or you're not going to actually get all the little gorgeous bits out. So this way you can get in around the little blades and you actually will save a lot more dressing. And also, I've known a few people who've actually put their fingers down near the blades, trying to get all the extra little bits, and I've got some nasty cuts from doing that. So that's definitely not something you want to be doing around your Vitamix, but makes it super simple. You can see I'm getting all my dressing. I'm very frugal in that way, getting it all out there. And you can see the texture of it is very much like a mayonnaise type texture. So it has that thickness, which I really like. If you're just blending it or shaking it, it's not going to have the mayonnaise-like texture, but it's going to taste equally delicious. And this, I promise you, when you start to put this dressing on salads, People will love it. You can make a ton of it ahead of time, but I tend to make it when I'm actually going to eat it, because the flavor will change as you make a dressing. It's not something that someone's going to come over to your place and you've made the dressing 2 or 3 days before and they're going, I really think you've made that dressing a few days ago. It's not really fresh. No one's going to notice. It's just something that when you start to get really in tune with your food and you taste the difference between flavors, you will notice it yourself, and it's just something that you may develop a preference for. But don't let it stop you from actually having the dressing regularly if you know you want to make up a batch. It's no problem. So I call it the Glory dressing, and I'd love to hear your feedback in the comment section below to see if it has actually changed your relationship with salads. I've got some miso paste, and I'm using, this is a Shiro.